Hi there, you can start two of these businesses I'm about to discuss here with only 50,000 naira, right? You don't need to think much about it. Welcome to this channel, and this is a series where we are dealing with business ideas that you can start with only 50,000 naira, right? You don't need to think so much about these things, right? You can literally start with 50,000 naira and then scale up very easily. First business is yogurt making, right? Yogurt home making, right? So making yogurt, right, you need like a capital of 30,000 to 50,000 naira to start this business, right? So materials needed are milk, right? Powder milk, liquid milk, right? Yogurt starter culture, you need sugar, flavor, you need containers like bottles and stuff. Other requirements to start it is temperature control knowledge, right? Clean and preparation area. Now I'm going to leave a link for an entire long video inside this PDF, right? So you need to get access to the PDF, right? For an entire long video of how to make this yogurt, like going to like meet a woman that this is her job, like this is what she does, right? She's very good with this, so you're going to learn everything. That video is going to teach you everything about making yogurt and the pricing and everything, how to set yourself and set the business going. If you're here for the first time, my name is Victor and I make videos around making money online and business, right? Yogurt business is a very lucrative business because I noticed that when I go to buy let's say soft drinks and I take yogurt, right, and I go to the counter to pay, and you see the price of yogurt is high. So you see prices like 1,000 and above, right? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, like for yogurt. I'm like, wow, so you mean Coke and Fanta and all of these other drinks are not as expensive as yogurt, right? So yogurt is clearly much more profitable, right? So you can start this yogurt business like in your house, right? Just know how to do it. Like I said, link to a whole video, like whole YouTube video that is dedicated to understand how to make yogurt. I've watched that video and that is why I'm recommending that video for you to watch, right? That's if you're interested in this particular business, that is yogurt production, right? So you can start small, right, and then scale. See, the business that we're looking at here are businesses where you don't need to think so much, right, about business. You just need to get little capital, that is 50,000, right, and start this business and scale. It's easier for you to scale, right? When you grow, when you get profits, you now think of scaling the business, right? You now think of doing things, let's say going to get license and all, because all of these things are going to get you to pay money, right? So you can start it locally, right, your own neighborhood, and then just sell it in your area, right? Or just sell it, take it to workplace and stuff, just sell it around you, right? So I know there are food regulation bodies, right, concerning this. So if you have the resources to do that, then you can do that. But we're looking at minimizing, right, 50,000 naira to like to do business in this particular like series. So you can start locally, you can sell it, you can send it to, you can give your kids, right, to go to school, or you can sell it in your neighborhood, right? Make it chill and then sell it in your neighborhood, right? That is the thing. I used to buy local yogurts from different places, right? That is something that you can also start, a business that you can also start, right? And that whole the video that is going to link you to, it's going to like show you how to like get your pricing, how to get like the materials, like how to enter certain markets like that. But this is what you can actually just think about it easily. Like you can actually just sit down and think about how you can go about this thing. So one other strategy you can use to like make sales is to go to church, like make the yogurt and take it to church, right? Because people trust you in church, right? You can take it to your mosque place of prayer, right? So after mosque, you can just keep it aside, right? And then when people are coming, they can patronize you, right? So that's just one thing that you can do. Now this yogurt production is recommended for you if you're a stay-at-home mom, right? If you're jobless, that is, you don't have job, and you can turn it to be your main job. You can like lock down and focus on it to be your main job, right? And then you can also invest in someone. That is if you don't have the time, but you have someone that is reliable. You can teach the person, you can bring the person, hold the person's hand and invest in the person. Please get paperwork when you're investing in people, right? You can like invest in people, right? So that is it for this yogurt business, right? So the second business that we're going to look at in this episode is palm oil retail business, right? That is palm oil retail business. So palm oil retail business, depending on where you are, please, ranging from 30,000 to 50,000 naira. Now the reason why I say 50,000 naira is because you need to buy the 20-liter jerrycan, right? The 20-liter jerrycan is what is going to take your money, right? So that is depending on where you are, right? So material needed is 20-liter. You see 20-liter of palm oil, right? You can buy wholesale, but you don't need to buy. You can buy just one jerrycan and start this business with, and then small bottles for resale, and then funnel, and then for measure, and then measuring cup, right, to measure it well. Reliable oil supply, and then good storage space. I remember my mom started this business because when she traveled, she came with 20 liters, like I think 4 of 20 liters, and she actually sold it out, right? She actually sold it out, but she sold it in the whole 20 liters instead of like distributing it into like containers like this. So this is like a 75 cl container, and if you turn 20-liter like jerrycan, right, the oil into this 25 cl, you're going to get like these bottles up to 26 of these bottles, right? Now you can now price the 26 bottles now depending on the market price, but you should make sure you price it such a way that you're going to get profit. So now if you buy the jerrycan for, that is a 20-liter jerrycan, for 50,000 naira, you should make sure that your pricing is going to be more than 50,000 to get profit. So let's say you sell 25, 26 bottles, right? 26 bottles. Let's do the mathematics. So 26 bottles, let's say you sell it for 2,500 naira, right? Depend, you have to check the market, like the market value and everything, and make sure you're not going in loss. Like, make sure that you always sell things in profit, right? So like 25, you're selling to, when you sell it for 2,500, let's say each one for 2,500 naira, you sell 26, you're going to get, that is 65,000, right? So that is like 15,000 profits, right? From your 50,000, right? From 50,000. And let's say, maybe depending on where you are, you like transport it, and let's say it took away, let's say, the 15,000, 20,000. You can keep on doing it because you're going to get customers that are reliable, right? Just start the business. It's not a hard business to like think about, right? So you look for places that you can store, right? You look for places that you can store the oil. Please don't keep it anyhow where people will steal it. So store the oil in, like, in a warm environment, right? Store it in a warm environment so that it doesn't coagulate, so that it doesn't like thickens, right? You understand? It doesn't thicken, so that you're able to turn it. Because if you put it in for a long time, right, into that jargon, the 20-liter jargon, that big jargon, over time it's going to thicken, right? That's coagulation. It's going to coagulate, right? So it's going to be hard for you to like turn it, you understand, and it's going to give you stress. So be very have knowledge when it comes to like to storing the oil, right? So if you got value from this video, please like the video, share with your friends, share with 5 friends, right? And you can check the whole series, you can check the rest of the series we have done, and we are going to keep on doing more series like that. So subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, right, so that you're going to get notified when I release newer episodes, right? So if you're interested in the PDF, right, the link is going to be on the description of this video, that you can get the PDF and get access to all of this business that you can do with 50,000 naira, and everything that you're going to be needing is going to be in the PDF, right? So I'm going to also link a long video on how you can understand better like this red oil business, right, retail business. So you're going to watch it on YouTube and get like bigger picture, right, when you want to go deep into that particular business, right? See you in the next episode.